Hi, I'm Chris Carlo, friendly neighborhood acupuncturist with another unusual health tip for you. I love talking to my patients in clinic about self-care tips that they could take home and apply. Tips that are based on what I call natural health and healing. And today I wanted to focus on that mental chatter and that busy-mindedness that kind of affects all of us. A lot of times health tips are focused on your diet or vitamins, supplements, herbal formulas, exercise, for example, even ways to digest food better and to get better, more rejuvenating sleep. Those are important areas. But what about the mind? How does the mind affect our health? And what can we do about it? Well, think about it. The way I like to describe the body's function is in very like yin yang terms, very simple. You've got functions that are active functions like activity and then versus rest, basically. Let's just put it that way. You've got activity and you've got rest. Two diametrically opposed functions, actually, and we need one. We need them both. We can't have one without the other. And this is a very yin yang kind of idea, something, terms that we talk about in traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and such. So, activity versus rest, and all that mental chatter has a lot to do with too much activity. Okay, that's going to create an imbalance after a while, especially if it affects our sleep. It affects our digestion. It affects our mood and our relationships and how we work and live out our day. Too much mental chatter. So really, we need to focus on trying to regulate our thinking. I practiced Tai Chi for many years and Qigong, and there's a lot of things that I learned for myself that I was able to take with me through my day. In other words, I just don't have to stand and practice Tai Chi for an hour or so, for example. I mean, I just kind of walk and breathe, and I practice these techniques as I live, for example. And there was three main principles in Tai Chi that we try to work on and regulate and unify, and those are the mind, the body, and the breathing. Okay, these things are very important, and even in like meditative practice, for example. And if one is disturbed, the other two are affected. If you can't breathe well, your body's going to get tense and your mind's going to be racing. If your mind is racing, it can affect how you're breathing and your body's going to be tense. So they all impact each other. So being aware of the mind, the body, and the breathing is important. And the king of all three is the mind. I always like to say the mind's the most dangerous thing in the body. The mind will redirect our resources and our energy. So when I talk about looking for a balance between rest and activity, and we get kind of busy-minded, and we're doing, and we're doing, and we're doing, and we're thinking, and we got so many things going on, and a lot of things are unfinished, unresolved, unsettled. It creates a kind of tension in our body, and we need to look for balance with that. And our body, so say you got some chronic health issues like chronic pain, for example, and your body struggles to deal with healing. Well, as we get older, our body doesn't work as well. It's just kind of a natural fact, and we want to try to optimize how our body works. The body will make inflammation naturally, and then it will take it away, say, like through sleeping, through eating. Uh, some foods are inflammatory, and some help to take the inflammation away. And inflammation is a factor in a lot of health, a lot of conditions regarding health. So reducing inflammation is important. And back to the busy-mindedness, if we're kind of cranked up and busy and got the mind going, the wheels turning, all that, always kind of like unregulated, not managed well, it can put our body into a kind of a stress response. Okay, instead of, again, remember activity versus rest. Well, there is dealing with stress, and that's going to be on the active side. And then there's rejuvenating and healing. That's going to be on the resting side. And oftentimes we're locked into this kind of mode where our body's always racing and dealing with stress, and we're trying to stay with that, and we don't give our body a chance to break from that and get into a rest mode and rejuvenating mode. Our mind just takes our energy and our resources and it just dumps it into dealing with that stressful activity. But if we can let go of the mind and relax and just kind of be less in our thinking and our that mental chatter, the body can start to take over and do what it would naturally do. So if there's aches and pains and healing that needs to be done, the mind needs to be kind of like let go so that the body can get back to doing what it needs to do. When the body doesn't have to deal so much with the stress, it can say, oh, I can get back to doing some of these other tasks that I have not had the time or the energy to complete or to improve on. There's a lot of chronic health issues, and I think every little piece of the pie, can add up. Every little thing that you could do self-care wise. So when it comes to the mind, that's why there's practices, for example, like Tai Chi or Qigong or meditation, or just having some downtime built in. Instead of going 100%, just go 80% of your ability, and that 20% is like money in the bank that you're saving. It's like energy that you're kind of saving, and your body is able to do something else with it that it needs that extra energy to do, instead of us, just kind of burning it all up. So you may want to check out my website, natureshealing.info. And on there is 4 programs or focuses to help you with this sort of thing. There's one called 7 Emotions. It's a very interesting topic. Different emotions affect different parts of our body, different organs. And knowing this, we can, awareness is the first step. And then prevention, we can find self-care tools. And in that 7 Emotions program, there's guided meditations that you could get into and listen. Helps to relax the body in a very deep way. Okay. There's also a 7 Emotions ebook that I wrote that you can check out. And then I also have a video series on Four Seasons Qigong. Some people don't like to be still and they want to move. Sometimes people, when I suggest maybe meditation, they have a hard time just being still and trying to be quiet, and they need some activity. So Four Seasons Qigong would be more in regards to like Tai Chi and body movement, okay, but very mindful. And then there's a 4th program that's called the 21-Day Purification Program, a whole different kind of concept of focusing on purifying certain organs in the body that actually naturally do purification within the body, in regards to like the liver, the kidneys, the colon. It's a dietary program where you would take a protein mix and a cleansing tablet. It just helps to reduce inflammation in the body and toxins, and it's a weight loss type program as well. And that's another great way to kind of like lighten up the load, get rid of some of that inflammation that can be a factor, and help feel good. And when you're feeling good, you're kind of thinking a little more clearly, and that can be helpful too in regards to mental focus, as we kind of started off with this video. So if you got any questions, leave comments. Again, check out the website and those programs. You go to the home page, scroll down, there's like 4 boxes side by side that outline those 4 programs: the 7 Emotions, the ebook, and the guided meditations, and then the Four Seasons Qigong and the 21-Day Purification Program. Until next time, keep on the sunny side.